Hello everyone and welcome to episode 90 of Podcast of Five Rings, your source of enlightenment in the realm of video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode of Podcast of Five Rings releases Monday mornings on iTunes and SoundCloud, and topic by topic, day by day on YouTube, with the full video releasing on Friday. To catch updates about the podcast or for other news, give us a follow on your social media platform of choice. Listed in the description below. I'm your host, GM and overseer of Podcast of Five Rings, Obsidian, slamming my gavel. My mouse. I'm bringing judgment to the world.
Oh boy.
I am Kira.
You know what?
I'm not going to say the meme.
I'm going to just take this ship. Yeah. I'm going to go to...
You're my L.
No!
It's alright, we both die, meta. In the end.
No, well then that's all I could ask for. As long as you're dead with me.
Mutual destruction.
Look, as long as the other guy dies, that's all that matters. That's my favorite tactic. As long as you're dead, I'm willing to burn the house we're both in down.
Karmic strike. He's the Dark Fortune duelist meta.
I've never seen a karmic strike. Oh no, that's not true.
I'll talk about one because we had one. Yeah, there was one Winter Court 3 between Toshigure and Moro.
Doji Moro.
Which was a very awesome one.
It was so perfect for a karmic strike.
Rinyu's gonna blow up that wall. Oh no, he's not. Stand down. Yes. And such a climactic moment for both characters too.
It was great. It was so good.
Hey man,
and then it turns out. I like the fact that, well, because for the record, if anybody who's doing Elthavar and goes that far back, for the record, it did find out later on that the numbers were added up wrong. But truth be told, anybody who actually has worth the salt of understanding a good story, that's fine. Absolutely,
it's fine. Whatever. I don't care that I lost or would have won.
I was gonna say absolutely. Like the karmic strike is probably the better outcome, even if the numbers even if they weren't added up right. The fact that it came to be a karmic is way better.
Yeah, totally.
It ended up being way better.
Okay, so it's just you and I tonight.
That's all the time.
Yeah,
that's all the time we have. Get out of here.
2 minutes. That's all you're getting from me tonight. so Tetsuo is out at a wedding or preparing for a wedding, anyways. And Mao's internet service is down because things are just chaotic in Florida right now. Okay, people. Weddings, no internet. Yeah. That's true bad karma. You want to talk about? No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say that. All right.
Don't do it, Obs.
I'm not gonna say it.
Brave yet so controversial.
I'm not gonna say it.
All right.
Florida deserves awesome things. There you go. Mao deserves his internet, and Tetsuo's family deserves to be happy. There you go. That's all I'm going to say.
Nobody deserves happiness. Hold on a second. Let's not be hasty.
The hurricane. I don't think it even really got that close to them.
It didn't. No, it didn't really get close to it. No, the Caribbean got messed up.
Yeah, they got the worst of it. It sat on the Bahamas for a day and spun.
The hurricane literally stayed in the Bahamas for a small vacation. Even it loves the Bahamas.
Yeah, there was which I don't even know how this happened, but someone at work that I work with got invited to a cruise the weekend before it. A Caribbean cruise. They decided to go out knowing that there was a hurricane. I'm half convinced that he's just wanted to take a week off work and told everybody this because I just don't believe that a cruise would literally go off into the hurricane. But he got stranded on the cruise ship apparently for a whole week and missed a week of work.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now. This is literally like that picture of drive me closer so I can hit him with my sword.
Exactly. Pilot the ship closer so that we may stay out of work for another week.
Oh, God.
It was, I was like, okay.
The captain at 20.
Got a Benji it's going to be bad at work next week. I totally don't want to go back. Just, come on. Let's just cruise around.
Here's a Benji if you'll just go closer to the storm.
I'm sorry, that's a $1 bill.
Look, all right, Washington's just as good as Benji.
Right? Yeah, exactly. One of them was a president. One of them wanted to make the turkey our national bird, okay? Who you gonna trust?
Oh, that would have been a terrible decision. Benjamin Franklin had a lot of good ideas, but that was not one of them.
Yeah, that was not a great one.
It was not a good one. How would you even just that? There's nothing majestic or great about the turkey.
But it's a humble bird, okay? Hey.
It's so humble.
That's why we eat it on Thanksgiving.
Yes, exactly. I want the national bird to be in my belly.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think that one through.
Oh man, I'm sure there would be jokes about the fact that we eat our national bird. I just know it.
Once more, America's the laughing stock of the world.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
For
just
another reason.
Another thing to check off the list.
Yeah. Let's get into topics tonight.
All right.
We got some stuff to discuss, you and I. And I think you have a pretty good one here.
Well, if you'd let me have my fucking intro off.
Go! You have the floor.
Yes, it's my floor. So, like, Hurricane, what is it, Dorian? Dorio?
Yeah, it was Dorian, I believe.
Dorian? Hurricane Dorian, dropped on in and whatnot. So, that's recent news. If you decide to also keep up some recent news, you might have noticed that there's a game show that comes up around this time of year in a place called Japan. It's across the seas. It's a small island nation.
Nippon.
It has a rich, luxurious history. And in a little place called Tokyo, they have what's called the Tokyo Game Show, and that was a really long way.
Why would they call it that? I mean, really? We got E3.
I don't think it's even in Tokyo, which is the funny part. I think it's the Tokyo Game Show, but I don't think it's actually in Tokyo.
Well, we all know that there's a little bit of Tokyo in every city in Japan, right?
Yeah, probably, I'm sure. So the Tokyo Game Show is essentially kind of like, I don't want to say it's like E3, because E3 is open to everybody, but Tokyo Game Show is a pretty big game show for Japan, specifically. It's a chance for a lot of their big numbers and members to show off some of the games that are coming out. It is, if I were to mark it down as like a place for information, if your game is being made by a Japanese developer, which likely put it's like 80% of all game developers, then you're probably looking at this being like the second best place to get information on your game. For your game.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how big Tokyo Game Show is over there. So E3 would obviously be first. You might say like some other game shows are better than it, but for Japanese games, it's a pretty big deal. They drop out a lot of their stuff. They show off like a lot of information, so on and so forth.
For people like me and Mao, it's particularly
because
we've been like all day,
RPGs and stuff like that. Yeah, it all drops out. Kind of freaking annoying as crap though that they did start early, because like I know we talked about this, we didn't say it on podcast. I had like the day prior on the 11th, before the game show actually happens, I'm sitting there and all of a sudden like I'm seeing trailers come out. I'm like, what? It's not even the 12th yet. Why are they bringing on information? I had actually went and double checked, and then like just like Obs said it as well, but like it took me half a day before I realized, oh wait, they're like 12 hours ahead of us. It's already the 12th for them.
It's like the morning. That's why stuff's coming out.
Yeah, so I was confused for a while though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
very
I was
confused.
too. I was as well.
So the Tokyo Game Show, pretty awesome place. They got a lot of cool games coming out. But the only one that really matters, is no, I shouldn't say that. That'll start a fight somewhere. So they dropped off with a big one. The Final Fantasy VII Remake got a whole new trailer. It's got a lot of cool stuff on there. Aerith is great looking. I don't care what the
she does look very good in the dress.
She looks amazing.
They're definitely playing her up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love it. It's great. I love it. And it's gonna suck when we get to the end of disc 1.
I mean, it seems like that's what they're gonna do, right? The whole game's just going to be the Midgard section.
Yeah, the whole game is just Midgard. They've actually removed out of the whole rest of the world. The whole game, start from finish, when they release their third disc, is gonna just be Midgard. That's how they're going for this, I think. Definitely. I've got inside sources. My dad, who works at Square Enix, told me.
My dad is Kitase. He let me in. He gave me some truth bombs.
You dropped those truth bombs so hard, I was whiplashing left and right.
He confirmed, fear not, fair FF7 fans, Genesis will be in the game. Rest easy. I know you haven't seen him in the trailer. You saw the Loveless sign. You were concerned.
You knew it was going to happen. You saw it. The signs were there. Yeah. You non-believers can all be shot down.
It was in FF7, the original one. It was there. It's just there. You're not going to put Genesis in. He's in. He's confirmed.
He's confirmed. From your true source, Kitase, who is my father.
When you Omni slash Sephiroth in the end, on Jill's hand will like come down and touch Cloud and like hands hover over the sword where he holds it and give him the courage to perform the Omni slash. This man who Cloud never met.
Can we just have like animated crap right at the end? Like he has all of his friends show up behind him in like vivid images. I just want to see like anime as crap on that.
Yeah.
So all right, no, but seriously, it did drop out. It looks really good. It does appear from what they've stated on some reviews in the past and what we've seen now, Final Fantasy VII will take place. Looks like the whole disc on will be in Midgard. Like the whole first part of it will be in Midgard. And I'm assuming that when you leave and you start to go into the world, that will be the second disc. I believe they've confirmed that it's going to be 2 Blu-ray discs.
Yeah, they said that at E3 that there's enough game for 2 whole Blu-ray discs.
Yeah.
And I think it will come on 2 discs.
I think it's actually coming on 2 discs.
Yeah, if you get the hard version.
Yeah, we just don't know what that's going to mean, like, for the future. They haven't really said much. They've just dropped a trailer. I've been keeping my eyes open, but not a lot's been really brought up, but that's the current gist of it. It looks good. I will say, however, because I'm a nitpicker, I will say that the editing, like, I know a lot of people were saying, like, some of the voice acting seemed really off, and that was, like, new voice actors. I've seen a couple places say this about it now. I don't actually think it's the voice acting. I think it's the editing. A few of the scenes seem a little bit out of the place. Like they're clearly meant to say something, but either the music for the trailer itself seems out of place with those words, or that the editing of it seems too quick or too slowed down properly for the moment. I'm not sure, but I
they probably quickly put it together. Because I didn't watch the Japanese voice one, so I couldn't tell, but I did notice some of that. Yeah, in the English one, and it's weird that they even put out an English one since it's a Japanese game show. Square Enix typically doesn't do that, but since worldwide release and all that stuff, they probably wanted to do it because a lot of English players are really excited for this game. This is kind of what made Final Fantasy super huge in the West. It's an important game, kind of.
You can actually say, I think the biggest part where I figured out, like the thing that finally clicked it for me, and what I think you should look for the most is that there's a scene where you first see Reno. He comes in and then he like kind of warps past Cloud and then turns around and he says, "My turn," and it just seems really out of place. I think that's what really clicked for me. So like, no, this is not bad voice acting. I think this is bad editing. Mm-hmm. So I could be wrong, but that just seemed really out of sync, the voice acting out of sync with the image, which tells me that's an editing choice, not an actual voice line choice. So and if you love movies as I do, then Tokyo Game Show is for you as well. They just finally released their 50-minute trailer of Death Stranding. I cannot wait for this movie. It's gonna be great.
Oh no. Like he released 2 trailers. There was the 7-minute briefing trailer, which I actually found kind of I actually like. The
briefing trailer was cool.
Yeah, the story seems, interesting. It seems like this is everyone always riffs on Kojima's games or movies. It actually seems like it would make a pretty cool movie or TV show, like the idea.
I think so. I joke around because I've never played Kojima's games.
I haven't either, really. So,
but I will say that this, I could actually see from what I've seen now that more and more stuff is finally kind of making sense of what's going on. I could see this making a really good movie. I don't think there's
it's well performed because they have professional. Not that typical voice actors aren't professionals, but they have like actual movie actors and stuff like Mads Mikkelsen. Norman Reedus.
They are bringing in people who don't really have experience with voice acting. It's a different business.
Yeah, it's like putting his friends in the game. Like the guy who hosts the Game Awards. Is it Jeff Notley? He gets a random cameo in the game just because Kojima's friends with him. So it's kind of It's pretty cool, kind
it's
of.
actually really cool, yeah, and it's very fun. I like the fact that like Sony kind of just let him burn through his money and whatnot. Because if you watched, I don't want to get too much in this because I mean this is a 30-minute topic. There's tons of people out there that already talk about this. But long story short, PT Silent Hill when it first came out, like in a number of years ago, and when it first came out and whatnot, PT Silent Hill was kind of his project, and at that time, Konami was going through a very different change. They had a new game. They call it Dragon something or whatever by this new guy who dropped out. It was like it's essentially a little phone mobile game that made bajillions for Konami.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Kojima right over here, who's old school style, and he's costing them millions to make a game that may not even make back what it does. And there was a lot of like controversy with it, and there's nothing confirmed. But there's a lot of hints you can watch videos on and the theories that are out there. But there's a lot of good stuff that points that obviously there was not a lot of good fallout between Kojima and Konami. And it's very nice to see that Sony picked him up. It was able to start like kind of his own business venture with them. Not picked him up. He's created his own studio. I should give credit where credit's due. But worked with him.
They like helped fund his game still.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think that's great. I love the fact that Sony just like absolutely do it. Because to me, that says Sony recognizes how good Kojima can be and that he truly is an iconic individual who make great games. Mm-hmm. Whether you've played them or not, you have heard of the Metal Gear series and the love for that series. That is undeniable. So it's likely put that this guy knows what he's going to do with Death Stranding 2. So
I'm looking forward to watching Let's Plays of it. The gameplay does not really seem super intriguing to me, to be quite honest. It's very much walk around, explore the world is a lot of the gameplay, and with stealth elements and not a whole lot of combat. So I'm still confused kind of on how the whole reconnect theme is, because it's supposed to like be the through line through the narrative and the gameplay and all this stuff. I don't know how it's going to connect all that stuff together. Yeah, it's insane, kind of, but the story seems really cool and interesting. Yeah, and you got your Kojima character, like the die-hard man guy. That's just like a dude wearing a skull mask. He's like, "I need you to help me, Norman Reedus. You have to run out to the West Coast and get your, I think, ex-wife or lover back from these terrorists that want to be independent. America's falling apart."
Norman Reedus, are you a bad enough dude to save the president?
I don't have to save the president. I don't want to. Just leave me alone. Then why'd you come here, Norman Reedus?
I already gave my 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. So.
Got it. It gives me like buddy cop vibes, honestly. But I like it. I want to see where. I hope it succeeds. That's really what I want to see.
Yeah.
However, if you're a fan of Yakuza,
I'm excited about this.
You might be a little bit disappointed what I've seen, and that's kind of what I've seen from like I know a couple people who like Yakuza, and the general consensus I've seen from across the board is that it is not what they were looking for in a Yakuza game.
Well, here's the thing, though. They have like 10 other games, and I think they're trying to appeal to people who don't normally play the Yakuza games. And one of the popular types of games in Japan are turn-based role-playing games. So
that's a shame.
Yakuza's trying to they're basically trying to do something different with Yakuza. And those happen to be my favorite type of games in the world. I've always kind of wanted to play Yakuza, but, I've heard like mixed things about how the combat stuff is. The comedy and the stories are supposed to be really funny, especially if you're into like Japanese culture and stuff.
So here's the thing. I'll tell you right now. I'm going to answer all your questions right now. If you're looking for a really damn good story, something that's going to get you really invested into things, Yakuza is absolutely your game to play. I've never played a Yakuza game personally, but I have gone through at the recommendation of other people and at least watched the stories. Let me tell you, man, super invested. Those are good. I mean, your miles may vary if you don't really care about like kind of like gang underground and like brawling stuff and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the crime drama TV shows they have in Japan, basically.
But it's good, and I'll say this right now: much like how Death Stranding got a lot of voice acting done by real life actors. Yakuza games actually have their voice acting done by real life actors. They are individuals who not only played characters in Yakuza movies and shows, but now lend their voice as well to the game.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So,
I'm sure there's lots of like references probably to the characters they played in other media through their characters, so it's probably pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool in the regard. The combat, as you've noted, is a little bit janky. There's a lot of cool ideas they have with the combat, and generally every game continues to expand on those combat systems. But the combat is a bit janky. It is not. It's an action kind of. It's an action almost like a wrestler game in a way.
Yeah.
But more actiony focused. But it is not. It's not a refined. Like you're not gonna pick up this game, and you're definitely not gonna get like the smooth, action gameplay style that is.
Yeah, you're not expecting it to be like DMC or something.
Yeah, it's not gonna be that. Yeah, it's not gonna be like those kind of games where, or even to an extent, Dark Souls, where kind of like your own skill defines really everything about the opponent. The enemies are gonna have points where they get like they just have super armor, or they're gonna interrupt you, or that they're gonna start blocking your moves in the middle of your combo.
Yeah,
it's an unfortunate sign of like that almost, I don't want to say mediocre, but kind of like that not thoroughly fine-tuned combat system that really feels rewarding when you get the strike in and you get it right.
Mm-hmm. So, and I don't think that's really what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I don't think they're trying to do it either.
But they could do a little bit better.
It could be better. Yeah, that's really what the point is about. But yeah,
we're not expecting DMC. We just don't want, WWE SmackDown from like N64.
Yeah. That said, the new system, they did say it's not going to be fully turn-based. They did state it's going to be kind of like from what I understand, it kind of reminds me of Front Mission 4, but in an action-y sense, where you have essentially action points that you spend with the character when you take control of them, and they kind of like it's almost like more like Final Fantasy 13 in a sense, but I'm guessing a little bit slower, where you kind of take control of a character, you play with them, you perform actions, and then once you've kind of performed all of them, you switch over to another character who then kind of like starts to play around with while the other characters.
That actually reminds me of Trails of Cold Steel a little bit, because it is a turn-based game, but it is kind of actiony where you have action points a little bit, and different things you do take up different amounts of them. And positioning is actually really important, because your moves will have like the classic D&D ones, like here's a cone, here's like a radius around me, here is a radius from a certain point, here's a straight line all the way through. They'll have like that kind of stuff. So it's not full blown like, I'm pushing X to like attack in real time, but
But so I don't know though. They haven't really been specific about it.
It has a job system meta. The job system.
Yes, it does. Yo, Jimbo.
I love job system. Jimbo. Yeah, he has a katana and stuff. I love the office worker lady who has the like briefcase and is just like swinging it and AoEing everybody. It was great. I love the dancers, like a hip hop Japanese like samurai shampoo guy that like spins and stuff.
The fact that the jobs are not like stereotypical jobs, like they're they're
like Japanese underworld culture.
Yeah, it's
jobs.
So funny. I was like, that is such a funny way to do a job system. That's great.
It's amazing. Appropriate. And they have Mario Kart, which I'm all down for. They have Mario Kart mini game.
Mario Kart, bro.
You get little carts and you drive around Japan. Oh, I was laughing so hard when I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This is a game, like, I didn't even know anything about it till Mal was like, they're doing Yakuza, but more like an old school RPG. Here's the trailer. I was like, I didn't even know they were doing a new Yakuza. And I watched it and was like, okay. And then the new trailer came out and I was like, okay. Now I'm like super hot. So yeah, I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna play my first Yakuza game now. So
yeah. I mean, there's definitely tons of stuff. There's like Mario Olympics 2020, which I think they're gonna
Who cares? They're just not marking it because the Olympics are about to happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're doing it because 2020 next year is Tokyo Olympics. They're very proud of that, by the way. You got Soccer Wars. You got a few other games.
Soccer Wars. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
I want my Kubo Mech action anime.
And they have plenty of other stuff there, too, as well. That's not even really fully game-focused. And they have, sadly, football. Japanese, not Japanese football, like European overseas football, not American football.
Football.
Yeah, they got a lot. Neo 2 was there as well. Neo 2, I think, has gotten really only a trailer. I don't know if it's on the floor with demos. I'm sure it's on the floor with demos, but
I'm sure.
it's looking good. Looking good. I'm excited for Neo 2, so there's that.
What are they doing different with it?
With Neo 2?
They've shown in the new trailer. Because I remember the stuff we got at E3.
The Neo 2, I don't know. I mean, like, the trailer doesn't really do too much different. It's just showing off a few more of the cool stuff that you can do, but it looks more like a story trailer than an actual gameplay trailer.
Oh, gotcha.
So, we'll see. Hopefully go with that. Hopefully it rhymes out. I've made my complaints clear about it, so. Yeah. I don't know.
They're doing a Mega Man Zero ZX collection?
Oh!
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yes, it is kind of
I didn't get to play a lot of those games. Oh, okay. I might pick that up.
And Project Resistance from Capcom, which is essentially going to be a 4v1 Resident Evil game. That's going to be utilized in 4v1 Resident Evil game. Yeah.
Cool.
It's true. Yep. It's going to be kind of like Left 4 Dead in that vein. These 4 characters with hero powers and whatnot are going to be survivors. They're trying to get out of this crazy contraption of a maze. Then your one player plays kind of like the mastermind of Umbrella, who sets out and lays out traps for your would-be survivors. They kind of place down traps and creature placements, and they spawn in monsters, and the players are trying to fight them and whatnot, and they can even assume direct control and play as Mr. X gonna give it to you.
They gotta put him in, you know?
Absolutely. Among other creatures that you can also take control of. But it's a very cool concept. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks very interesting. I will say, however, it is a little bit jarring to see numbers pop over your head. I did have actually the ability to watch the trailer for that one, and it's really weird to see numbers pop over your head because that really takes you out of the whole horror aspect.
Yeah.
So, not sure what to say about that. I'm not sure why they would do that.
I guess it's going to be more arcadey and less atmospheric.
And I kind of wish they hadn't done that because, I mean, a big part of what makes Resident Evil so fun is the atmosphere.
I agree. That's kind of why I like the latter games didn't do as much for me.
Yeah. The latter games kind of being like what they are felt more like action adventures.
And 5, 6, and 7 more so.
Yeah. 4 still had it there. 4 still had it.
Yeah, but 4 was at least good.
Yeah, 4 is considered amazing. It's
it's my favorite Resident Evil game. So
that Resident Evil, to be in fact, is considered to be kind of set the bar for like how a certain game should be done. It's still utilized as a premise to this day for games as a history and learning point. Right?
Yep.
So that's how much impact it has on games. Kind of like how Halo was the focus point when it first came out, and it still technically is to this day because it created what we know as regenerating health came from Halo, and also the standard operating controller configuration was birthed because of Halo. They set the bar for a lot of things. So 2 games that have absolutely defined genres, and
that's something I never considered about Halo. Actually, was the way it changed like FPS mapping and stuff on controllers. Oh, yeah, because all the big FPS games before that were most of them were computer games like Unreal and Quake and stuff. And
Halo took that and they truly did define it. That was actually something that's been written about from the courses of game design that I have taken. That was one of the things that even our teacher spoke about. And I mean, there's papers out there done about it now and whatnot. It's really old, obviously now. It's like in 2000. But the point is,
it's been that long.
Yes, it has.
Kill me, dude.
But that is, they standardized it, and Resident Evil 4 in the same way kind of standardized over the shoulder horror action. It set the tone for a lot of things. It really did, and the 2 games to look at. But Tokyo, we jumped off right off of Tokyo Game Show, so I guess that's a good point to say segue off. There's a lot more coming out. Unfortunately, at the time right now, it is technically the 2nd to 1st day, depending on where you live on the planet, of Tokyo Game Show. So there's still more to come. There's actually a lot more going to be coming out on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, lots of gameplay demos and stuff.
Yeah, so that's kind of like when people are really going to get a chance to get into the meat and potatoes. That's when we're going to see a lot more stuff coming out for it. But unfortunately, as of right now, we're very limited on it. But do check it out. They are dropping information out of there. I don't know why I'm asking you to check it out. You've either already done it or you're going to hear this in the future. I don't know.
Watch the trailers on YouTube. Damn it!
Just go watch it. Go enjoy it.
We need more